Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, two right-wing extremists have been indicted for planning to, quote, go to war with Border Patrol. They may spend the rest of their lives in prison, and I wanted to share this story with you, not because it's so unique, unfortunately, but because I believe you can draw a straight through line from right-wing media hysterics over the southern border to this very narrowly averted tragedy. Because as you'll hear, these guys ramped up and shifted their focus to the southern border as the 2022 midterm elections were nearing. The same time that the whole, quote, border crisis was spewed out night and day on right-wing media, trying to swing the election for Republicans, trying to make it a thing again. So, we had the caravan, and now every time there's an election, all of a sudden the border is an issue. Any other time it's like, yeah, okay, we care about it, but it's not like the end of the world. But as soon as there's an election coming up, they are all over it night and day. So here's what they're accused of, these two men, and here's what went down with their very violent arrest. 37-year-old Bryan Perry of Tennessee and 33-year-old Jonathan Odell of Missouri allegedly plotted to murder not only immigrants, but also federal Border Patrol agents. Perry and Odell founded a group called the Second American Militia, and they ended up in a shootout when the FBI agents showed up to arrest them the night before their planned attack. The indictment says that as early as November of 2021, through October of 2022, Perry and Odell discussed their anger about the government, and they attempted to recruit other people to join this so-called militia. So in May of 2022, Perry texted a photo of a map of DC to Odell, and he had various locations marked where he was saying, we could block the roads. The following month, Perry texted images of the U.S. Capitol, the Secret Service headquarters, and other various government buildings in DC. And he said that they needed to, quote, stop the madness going on. In July of 2022, Perry obtained a multi-caliber rifle. He texted a photo of that rifle to Odell, and he wrote that he was, quote, good to go. And then in August of 2022, the indictment says that Perry and Odell agreed to, quote, go to war with Border Patrol. So up to this point, they're focused on DC. But then all of a sudden, August of 2022, which, couple months before the election, now all of a sudden they're headed to the border. They're going to go after Border Patrol. About 2 weeks after that, so that was August, we're now into September, Perry moved in with Odell. He took a bunch of weapons with him and body armor. In early September of 2022, Odell was searching online for a gun. And about a week after that, Perry posted a video on TikTok, and he was bitching about immigrants coming to the U.S. from Mexico. He said that United States Border Patrol was committing treason by allowing it, and he said that the penalty for treason was death. The next day, he posts another TikTok video, and he said that he was, quote, ready to go to war against this government. And then they were continuing their recruiting efforts during this time. On September 22nd of 2022, Perry posted again on TikTok, and he said, quote, we're out to shoot to kill, and, quote, our group is gonna go protect this country. So a few days after that, Odell starts posting on TikTok. He posts a video in which he's also complaining about the border, and he claimed that they were heading down to Texas on October 4th of 2022. While all of this posting is going on, Perry and Odell were having work performed on their weapons. They were purchasing ammunition, and they looked into buying camping gear and night vision goggles. Perry also contacted a life insurance company. That's normal, right? Then in October of 2022, October 2nd of 2022, Perry said in another TikTok video, quote, Patriots, this Saturday, 10/8/2022, we are going hunting, and, quote, hope to see you there and ready. And the video included part of a song that contained lyrics that were let's go to war. So a day or so later, he posted a similar video. He again referenced the Mexico border and he said, quote, going out hunting. And then Perry said his group was taking their, quote, full kits. Well, around that same time, Perry had a phone conversation with someone referred to as Individual 4. So he laid out his plan for this person. He said that they were headed to the southern border to, quote, start a war. Perry explicitly said that they were planning to shoot people crossing the border and federal agents who oppose them. And then Perry also said that he would be taking the gear and supplies from the agents after they, quote, take a couple of them out. Odell had a similar conversation with someone listed as Individual 3, and he said that they would acquire night vision goggles from murdered agents. And these plans were again reiterated, plans to kill and rob federal agents on yet another call in which both of them took part, both Perry and Odell. Perry and Odell also were practicing their shooting around this time, and Odell continued searching online for various guns. He was looking for optics and night vision goggles. The indictment also says that by October 7th of 2022, Perry and Odell had amassed 4 guns, approximately 23 magazines filled with ammunition, approximately 1,770 rounds of various other ammunition, 2 sets of body armor with plate carrier vests, a handheld radio, 2 sniper rests, 2 gas masks, 2 ballistic helmets, and multiple containers of something they described as an explosive mixture that they said is usually used as like an exploding target, like you shoot it and it explodes. So luckily the FBI became aware of their plan. And so they go to arrest these guys. They get to Odell's home on October 7th to execute a search warrant, and Perry opens fire on them. He shot at least 11 rounds at these agents. And then when they finally got to them, he resisted arrest, and they said he assaulted at least one of the officers. Odell didn't shoot at the agents, at least not that it said in the indictment, but they said that he made at least one false statement to try to conceal his possession of a weapon. So Perry and Odell have now been charged in a 44-count federal indictment. They've each been charged with conspiracy to murder a federal officer, conspiracy to assault a federal officer, conspiracy to injure an officer, 7 counts of attempted murder of a federal officer, 7 counts of assault of a federal officer with a deadly weapon, assault of a federal officer that inflicts bodily injury, 2 counts of assault of a federal officer that involves physical contact, 14 counts of use of firearm in furtherance of crime of violence, communicating a threat to injure, and depredation of government property. On top of all of those joint charges, Perry was hit with 2 counts of felon in possession of a firearm, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number, possession of body armor by a violent felon, and possession of an explosive. And then Odell was separately and individually charged with possession of a firearm while subject to court order of protection and making a false statement. So if the government has the evidence to prove these crimes, their lives are over. The maximum potential sentence for just the conspiracy to murder the federal agents is life in prison. And a bunch of the other charges come with a potential max of 20 years. And I would say it's not going to go well in a trial because I think the country, I think there was a tipping point on January 6th. I think that was a very key moment because up until then, everything was kind of ambiguous, right? We talked about the potential for violence and political violence in particular, and everyone talked about Trump and what a danger he was, but I don't think anyone could possibly conceive of what we saw on January 6th and what we've seen since then with like all the things that I mentioned yesterday in one of the videos about the guys down in New Mexico who shot up the homes of, other New Mexico officials. So I think it has changed the mindset in this country, and I think it has changed the jurors especially. I think they see this stuff in a different light. It's no longer like, yeah, they talked about it, but they didn't actually do it. No, we've seen where it goes. We've seen the end point, the end result of rhetoric like this, of thinking like this. So it makes it more real. I think these guys are done. I think they threw their lives away because they watched too much right wing media. It's that simple. So, anyway, guys, I will let you know when I hear more about this case. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like it, share it with everyone you know, become a subscriber if you have not already. A lot of you are watching that haven't subscribed. I see you. And then donate if you possibly can. It truly helps to keep the show going. Love you all. Take care. Have a great weekend. I'll talk with you soon.